we're back with another worst to best. Okay, I know you guys love these, you love to hate me, but today we have a little bit of a change in format. Okay, I was getting a little bit bored. I'm by myself. I'm just listening out these songs, and I could talk about these albums all day. I love them to death, but at the end of the day, I also love having discussions and conversations about these albums. And so today I have fellow YouTuber and Discord server member Al. If you want to introduce yourself, Al.
We're doing Smile by Porter Robinson.
Yes.
I think we can both safely agree that Porter Robinson is both our favorite artist
Of course.
of all time.
Of course.
So I just want to make something clear. This is my favorite album of all time. I've had discussions in this man's Discord, and I've been mercilessly destroyed for my quote-unquote hot takes, all right? This is literally every track here is in 100. So if I have one track below the other, it doesn't really matter because they're both basically perfect. You have no idea how difficult this was, at least for me.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. This, even though it's not my personal favorite Porter album, every single song is amazing. This is easily one of the best releases of the year, and so I'm very excited to see what your thoughts on individual tracks are, where our lists will differ. And as always, if you guys want to drop your lists in the comment section below, I'd love to look at those.
Don't make us more angry. So maybe don't do that. But
if your list looks exactly like mine, then feel free to drop it in the comment. Yeah,
please.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Unfortunately, there's 10 songs. One of those has to be number 10. So
all right, I might walk out here. If the song I think is coming, I'm about to walk out of this. My mouse is on the disconnect call button.
Okay.
I'm not kidding.
At number 10, to no one's surprise that watched my reaction video, I have Year of the Cup.
I'm sorry I'm like this. What the hell was in his cup? Whatever he was drinking must be a...
All right,
She's gone, guys.
Oh, how could you do this to me? No.
How could I do that?
No, this is... Oh, God. That one hurt.
I understand. I've been there. I've seen ranking videos where people put my favorite song at the very bottom. Before I go into why I have it at number 10, I'd like to hear what you have down there.
I had Perfect Pinterest Garden.
No, you didn't!
10.
No!
I did the Fantano. I'm sorry, everybody. I did the Fantano. I did the Fantano.
Bro, I'd rather have Mona Lisa down there. That's crazy. Okay.
Wow. Really?
Okay. So
well, then maybe you're gonna be happy with the Mona Lisa placement now. Holy crap.
All right. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
Don't tell me. Dude, if we actually did this and our 10s are our 1s, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna lose my mind.
The reason I had Year of the Cup at number 10, because
you're...
listen, all the songs on this album are good, but at the same time, this one is a lot less punchy and consistent in my opinion. I think it relies a little bit heavily on that interview, which was sweet and powerful, but I think
genius is what it is.
I mean,
it's genius.
It was really, really well incorporated, right? But I think in terms of the sonic direction of a lot of the other songs, I think they're a lot more consistent. So
no,
I have it at the bottom. It's just,
yeah, no, it hurts.
It hit really hard at the concert though. I'll give him that.
Oh yeah, the guitar solo? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like that was crazy.
It was killer.
So one of the main reasons I have perfect Pinterest card, I'm just gonna say PPG. One of the main reasons I had PPG down at the bottom is because it's the shortest song on here. I think sonically it's pretty great. I really, really love the vocal chops a lot. That's like my favorite part of the song. I think they're super, super interesting. I think the bridge is fantastic. It's one of his best singing performances on the bridge.
Agreed.
But I kind of just wanted more out of it.
It is
just
shorter.
So short.
Yeah.
And because of that, I kind of wanted more of that. If the song was a little bit more fleshed out, if it was like a 3-minute, maybe even a 4-minute song, I think it would be a lot higher. But because it's so short, that's kind of why it's falling. It's still like a 10 out of 10 track, but like
course.
it's not the most fleshed out on the project.
That's
Placed
less
at the 10th
blasphemous
spot.
now. You've defended yourself a little bit.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, that's kind of my goal here.
All right.
I need to defend myself.
Fair enough. We heard my number 10 first, so let's go into your number 9.
Yeah. Okay. So at 9, this one is probably my hottest take. I have "Knock Yourself Out"
No, you don't!
at 9.
Oh my gosh, your list is atrocious.
Knock yourself out.
No,
What?
you need to understand. No, I know exactly what you're gonna have at 9, and I'm gonna do the exact same thing. Oh my god, please.
Yeah, and I mean, I
No.
think fairly obviously I have Kitsune Miss-on Freestyle at number 9.
Didn't you see this coming? Everything you thought you wanted.
Okay, I had to.
No.
I had to. I don't.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so painful. Well, the reason I have "Knock Yourself Out" at 9 is, again, it's the second shortest track on here. It kind of falls into like the same kind of, reason as "Perfect Pinterest Garden." Again, shortest song, one of the shortest songs, could have been dragged out a little bit longer, and I think that writing wise, it's up there. I really, really like the second verse. I thought it was super, super smart. It's personally my favorite music video of all the music videos
Yeah.
that were made.
Agreed.
For all of them, I think it was super cool, even though it gives me motion sickness.
Yeah.
I think it's really, really cool. One of the main reasons I love Porter is his perfect mastery of instrumental to lyrical like juxtaposition, where the lyrics can often be pretty sad and brooding, but then the song, like "Knock Yourself Out," its whole thing is basically an 8-bit synth loop that's so happy-go-lucky.
Yep.
Like, it's such a perfect, like, light battling the dark or something like that. I don't know the perfect way to say it.
I'm starting to realize that I think our philosophies with this list are entirely different. So our lists are going to be entirely different.
No!
See,
Oh, no!
I am thinking in terms of the quality within the framework of that amount of time. And I think you're
Right.
like, I love them all so much. I just want the most of whichever ones I can get.
Exactly.
So yeah, our lists are already, they're doomed to be completely different.
Oh, no. Okay.
So Kitsune
All right.
Masan Freestyle, I had at 9, right? Again, I don't dislike the song at all. I think it has a nice, fun, laid back energy, which you kind of need in one of these track lists where there's so many punchy, aggressive songs. But at the same time,
Right, exactly.
I think while I appreciate where he was attempting to go with the vocal style, it's meant to be different, right? It's meant to be more chill, laid back. I do think it feels a little weak at times, especially the Kitsune Misan little refrains. I don't think it's as powerful as a lot of the stuff I have above it.
Right. I can understand that. And I'll explain one of the main reasons why I love Kitsune Misan Freestyle.
do,
It's
yeah.
because of the vocal performances, but I will get there when we get to that placement on the
Of
list.
course. So at number 8, I had Everything to Me.
It's you.
That is exactly my placement.
There we go.
I called it. Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
Middle ground
We
achieved.
agree.
Middle ground achieved.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think
Get us
this
on
deserves an
Jubilee.
applause.
Get us on Jubilee. We're going to find middle ground with every Porter fan. All right.
Yeah, I also had Everything to Me at number 8. So,
Okay.
yeah. Okay.
So,
Perfect.
yeah, what do you love about the song and what do you think keeps it from being higher on your list?
I think it's kind of just like, this is the as I like to call in a lot of cases of songs, the asshole at the dive bar song,
Okay.
where it's like, well, I could play Cheerleader, but I also could play a 1-minute song that's longer and also has more emotion. And
Okay.
I feel like that's kind of the philosophy with this one. There's like obvious cases that there are better songs, but this one, I feel like I've seen this one actually really, really high.
Yeah.
I really like the lyric, "If irony is a virtue, maybe I should be king." I think it's something like
yeah.
that. I thought
Yeah.
that lyric is really, really good. The writing is very, very nice. I think it kind of just fizzles out as a song. It doesn't really have a strong ending like most Porter tracks.
For sure.
But I do think it's not. Obviously, it's like number 8 on my favorite album of all time. This is basically comparing like, well, I could pick the 92-93 Bulls season, or I could pick the 96 Chicago Bulls season. They were both like the best team in basketball. It's, you know, it's like almost impossible. So it's just like, I feel like more of the songs are dynamic. They're more dynamic compared to everything to me. So that's why I have it at 8.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, I think Porter is the best in the world at making album closers. This song is another just terrific album closer. It's really good. I do think
Best in the world? I don't know.
You're looking at Goodbye to a World, Trying to Feel Alive, and Everything to Me, right?
Yeah, Trying
Like-
to Feel Alive is the one that's like,
They're all pretty
is
good.
it the best possible closer? Because I feel like you
wait,
have
wait, wait.
Sweet Time. You have Sweet Time.
Whoa. So you would change the sequencing on Nurture.
A little, just ever so slightly.
Interesting. I do not agree. I think Trying
I'd
to
put
Feel
Sweet
Alive.
Time at the closer. I'd put Sweet Time at the closer personally. That's my one take. That's my strongest thing.
We'll get to that another day. I can't even. Oh my gosh. All right. I think Porter's album closers are phenomenal. All 3 of them.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And I think
I wouldn't disagree.
that this song, it fits in its own lane and it's unique on the album in terms of subject matter. But
Yeah, for
again,
sure, yeah.
like you said, it's not nearly as flashy or dynamic, or even like it doesn't change all that much. It does kind of fizzle out, as opposed to almost, I think all the singles always ended
Yeah.
with a big hit that made you want to replay it. Everything to
Yeah,
me feels like
exactly.
it concludes itself and then it's just over, right?
It's like leaving a show without an encore.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. That's a great analogy. Holy cow. Okay, so we agreed on number 8. That's big, guys. I don't think
Yes.
that's gonna happen again.
This is new
I
ground. This
know.
is new territory we're
Exactly.
covering. This one might peak his mic.
Okay, I don't like it that
At
you're saying that.
7, I have Is There Really No Happiness? I heard the chair. I heard the chair. I heard the chair.
across the room. I threw my headphones.
Want it to be wrong when it's all done. Is there really no
Let me get them out of the garbage can.
No.
Um,
Out of the garbage can?
yeah, they fell in there. Okay.
I know exactly what you're gonna have at 7. I know exactly what you're gonna have.
Yeah, it's Easier to Love You. I have it at number 7.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, called it.
yourself like me?
Wait,
Called it.
now
Yeah,
now I'm
it's not right.
That is what you thought I was gonna go
Yes.
with? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, start
Now I'm
with your
just
blasphemy.
confused.
Start with your blasphemy. No. Where the onus is on
for
you.
me, this is everything to me part 2. It's not as dynamic to me. Don't get me wrong. This track is fantastic. It has probably the best hook.
Yeah.
Like that vocal chop is ridiculous. And I think the theme of nostalgia, personally for me, is really strong now because I'm in my era where I listen to like 2010 nostalgic EDM for like dopamine right now.
Oh, that's the good stuff
So
right
that's
there.
kind of where I am.
Yep.
So it definitely like reminds me of that, and I think it's powerful in that way. Lyrically, again, fantastic, but it's just not as dynamic as so many of the other tracks above it. It stays in its lane, and the only thing it really goes out of its way to is I don't know even what it is. Maybe it's a voicemail? I think it's a voicemail, where it's like, you know, some people die of nostalgia.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or that. I feel like it doesn't really go out of its lane, and that's kind of why I have it at 7. Again, just not as dynamic as some of the other tracks here.
That is fascinating to me. You named everything. We'll get to all those things later. That's everything I love about the song. And then a complaint I think doesn't really
no.
exist, right? I don't watch basketball. I think I'll clarify that, but I want to bring it back to a basketball analogy real quick. Okay, you got someone like Steph Curry. Okay, Steph Curry's like one of the best
Okay.
shooters, right?
Yeah.
Are you saying Steph Curry isn't one of the best in the game because he can't dunk super well? Like, I don't think he does his job perfectly well.
Okay, I
Is there really
understand
no
that,
happiness?
but-
Is fantastic at doing what it's trying to do.
Yes, but the problem is literally every other song above it for me is more dynamic. Like, I love a song that is easily progressible into multiple parts or multiple verses or have a unique like theme that's super strung out through all the tracks. It's just the fact that it doesn't, it's so good, but it's not my style of song.
Okay.
You know?
There we go. There we go. That's all I needed. That's all I
understand
needed.
that it is
Yeah.
incredible, but it didn't click with me as harder as some of the others. And again, the dynamicism, like I'm such a sucker for a dynamic. Like that's not even a word, but you know what I mean. It's not even a word. I don't
get
care.
it. I get it.
I don't care.
Yeah. It's funny you say that. That's a great segue into why I have Easier to Love You at number 7. It's an insanely dynamic and the progression on it is really good. However, I think it's over reliant on the progression. I think it's a bit of a slow burn when it starts.
Right.
And then where it crescendos into is wonderful. One of the best peaks on the album.
That crunchy synth is so
Oh
good. It's
yeah,
so
that
good.
that is
Brain
such a
scratching, dude.
such an amazing way to close out the song. It is more of that slow burn, be patient, as opposed to
Yeah.
a lot of those other songs.
I am a very
I don't know.
patient listener as well, though.
Okay.
Like when it comes to music, I am incredibly patient. So maybe that's why I have some of the slower tracks higher.
That's yeah, I could see that. That's fair. Okay.
Okay.
What on
Is it-
earth is your list gonna look like if you have that at 7? that ruins the whole thing.
You first.
I'm up. Okay. Yeah.
Wait, let me make a guess.
You make it. Feel
Got it.
free.
All right.
Feel free.
You have knocked yourself out at 6.
No, I do not.
Really?
No. At number 6,
Don't tell me.
I have
Just say
Mona
it, just say
Lisa.
it.
I have Mona Lisa.
Oh my God, we're aligned again.
There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. All right.
One more face to the door, once it all over, I'm taking you home.
So you want to tell him the history?
So this
of
guy,
the
this guy right here, he joins my Discord server. I think he's, buttering me up. He's like, I'm a big Porter fan too. You have such good music taste, yada, yada, yada. And then this guy drops worst message of the year. He says Mona Lisa is the worst song on Smile, which
Yes.
is unreal to say, in my opinion.
Well, it's changed, obviously.
Yeah,
I think you should go first because you said what you had at 6 first. So go ahead.
sure. Yeah. I think that Porter, he doesn't usually have a lot of features on his albums. Again, the Frost Children are the only
Right,
one
yeah.
on this record, and he always
And
does
then
a phenomenal job
Totally
picking them
Enormous
out.
is the only one on Nurture.
Exactly. Yeah. So he's always very selective, and he always makes a great choice. I think this was also a great choice. The different ideas that are present, the genre fusions. It's one of the most memorable songs, in my opinion. The vocal performances were just terrific. And this is one of
Yes.
those more intense songs that punches really hard. It's a great aux song.
Yeah, and I think this is where it becomes a double-edged sword because that ending sometimes for me is just like too much.
Okay.
Like there are times where it's just like, yeah, this is fantastic, but like my brain can't handle this right now. It's a very overwhelming track and it's designed to be overwhelming and it is fantastic at doing that, but I'm not huge on huge overwhelming tracks a lot of the time.
Okay.
Although I love them. I mean, like I'm a huge Death Grips fan, so
Nice.
that's
yeah.
part of like it's not something I'm always coming into. Like I'm
Sure.
I'm a huge fan of like smoother tracks. You're gonna see that later.
Yeah, there's like 3
But-
songs I've named we haven't seen, something like that.
Yes, 3.
Oh, good boy. Okay.
Mona Lisa is still great. Again, another writing highlight is, see, I
Yeah.
remember everything. Do you remember me? Like that's fantastic.
Yep.
I believe that's the only Frost Children, like the one lyric that's from Frost Children that really is good. Like it's not as strong lyrically, but again, it's still like Porter and Frost Children.
Yeah,
So
it's a fun, it's a
there-
blast. Like it doesn't need
Yeah,
to be
exactly.
that super. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but I'm someone who loves lyrical genius, so
Of course.
yeah.
Number
At
5.
5, I have Easier to Love You at 5.
All right.
personally.
At
So you.
number 5, I have Russian Roulette.
No, it's not top 4. Okay.
It had to.
Okay, dude, you have
I had
Perfect
to.
Pinterest Garden at number 1. Oh no, Perfect Pinterest Garden at number 1. No.
I'm not gonna say where things might be on.
You absolutely
I'm not gonna spoil for the
Cheerleader isn't
viewers.
gonna
I'm
be
not gonna
top
spoil for the
3.
viewers.
No.
We'll get there when we get there.
Okay.
All right. Let's get into.
So, Easier to Love You
Yep.
has my favorite moment on the album,
That's
and that's
fair.
Porter bringing in the nurture voice for "I Found a Letter to Nurture Me." Like, that is a stroke of genius,
Mhm.
and I thought that was like my jaw dropped when I first heard it. I was like, "Oh my god, that's his nurture!" I was like geeking out, and it was such a cool moment. That ending, we touched on it a little bit earlier,
Yep.
but god damn,
Fully agree.
Is it incredible?
Fully agree there.
It is like the perfect like brain scratch moment. Lyrically, it's great. I think that like somehow it's fun, you know?
I don't know if I was like fully
Like,
agreeing with you.
for like meaning like fun, like it's a song that I just like mindlessly like sway my head back and forth
Okay.
to and like smile.
Then
Like
sure,
in
yeah.
that way. It's his, in my opinion, his second strongest track in terms of writing. It's incredibly strong written. Just like before I watched some of his interviews on the album, I originally thought it was from him telling his wife that, because his wife had like agoraphobia or
Yeah.
something. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet. That's so cute. And then once I realized it was Porter talking to himself, and I'm like, oh no.
Oh, it's
This is-
a brutal
This
song.
hurts so much more.
It's a
This
brutal
hurts
song.
so much more, and I love it.
Yeah.
So that's why I have Easier to Love You at 5. So you have Russian 5.
I do.
Blasphemous. Well, kind of. Well, you'll see.
To kind of piggyback off your point of Easier to Love You being one of the strongest, I think Russian Roulette is one of the strongest written.
Oh yeah, no question. No question.
I think
It's
a
up there
lot
for
of
sure.
the references to his past mistakes, his past decisions in his life and career, and I think like just those ideas are really strong, and the progression again, wonderful
Yes.
progression, right? Like you have
Yeah.
those verses,
joy.
the chorus, the super long bridge that goes into this ultimate payoff, the techno kind of
Yes.
breakdown at the end. All of it is wonderful. But again, okay, I don't think I hate saying this about this song. I love this song so much. But
Oh, no.
I don't think each of the ideas is as strong as one another, right? Like for example,
Okay.
the techno breakdown.
Yeah, please
is it-
explain.
Is it hitting the same every time you listen to it? I don't think it does. I think
For me, it does because of the build-up before it.
the buildup is my favorite part of the song. I think that whole
no.
portion is fantastic. That bridge, some of his most powerful writing to date, undeniably.
Oh yes. At least it's top 5. If it wasn't top 5, I was gonna.
That
really,
would be
really
ridiculous.
scared.
I feel like I'm
Yeah.
snubbing the song a little bit, but at the same time, I would feel
you
worse.
very slightly are, in my opinion.
I
Let's
would
see.
feel worse about these 4 songs above it being below it. So I had to put it 5.
Right. Yeah. I get that. What do you got it for?
What do I have it for? Okay, you've been
No, don't.
you've been anticipating this. It can't. I feel like it can't go any higher. I have to put it here. I have knocked yourself out at number 4.
Oh, thank God. Oh my God. If Cheerleader wasn't top 3, I would have pipe bombed your house, dude. I swear.
No,
Thank
in some
goodness.
sort of video game. This is a gaming video, guys. He's not. He doesn't mean that for real.
Yeah, no, in game.
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah.
in game.
What's your number 4? What's your number 4?
I've Russian Roulette at 4.
That's fair.
Here.
Totally fair. Totally fair.
That's why I was like a little upset. It's like a slight snubbage for me. I have never cried at a beat drop before until now.
Oh, okay.
With Russian Roulette, like it was like too much. I was in the middle of school and I was like tearing. I'm like, can I like go walk for a second. Like, it was bad.
That's awesome.
Like, it was so... It wasn't. It was very weird.
No, that
I got a
sounds
lot
awesome.
of strange looks that day. The guitars are so satisfying. Bringing up Pitchfork was super unique, and I feel like my favorite part on the tour was when he brought up Pitchfork,
Yeah.
and then on the board, like, it shows like all these Pitchfork reviews. It had my album of the year from last year on there, New Blue Sun by Andre 3000.
Okay.
Which was really, really cool. It's incredibly strong, obviously. I love Porter changing the lyrics of the build-up on tour. I think that's super, super cool. That's like, it's another moment where it's like an, oh, so sweet, you know?
Yeah.
These top 4 are all in my top 10 Porter songs. I just want to make that clear.
Okay. That's valid.
So
Well-
it's like, it gets harder and harder to describe it.
It's
So
valid.
at 3,
It's valid if
I
if I knew what was above it.
yeah,
right?
no, you're not going to like 3 and 2. I'm just saying that up front. At 3, I have Kitsune Mason Freestyle, and I'll explain why. So what do you have at 3?
3, I have Perfect Pinterest Garden.
Oh, thank God. Oh, my God. Thank goodness.
It's ridiculous. You thought I was putting that one. I'm not.
Dude,
I can't justify
saw
doing
it
that.
coming. I saw it coming, and I was going to be so mad. I saw it. I saw, like, the chakras, like, align. I brought up the lyric, the, like, vocal performance when you were talking about Kitsune Mason earlier.
Yeah.
My favorite thing artists do is when they challenge the barriers of vocals. So
Okay.
when they twist it, like auto-tune, I'm a huge fan of like using that as an instrument. I find that fascinating. Like, I love bordering the line between humanity and electronics in music. Like, that's one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
And I think Porter definitely achieved that with his auto-tune voice. The flow is just so catchy. Like,
It's
it's
a catchy
just like
song.
the flow he has is like just like you're perfectly like head bopping along. Lyrically, I love the chorus so much. I really love the production too. Like, it progresses so effortlessly without like changing at all a lot of the time. Like, it's just like the slightest changes, and it's just so catchy and such like a perfectly easy listen. Like, I can put that on like anytime I want, and it's just like, yep, this is a great 3 minutes I'm spending, you know?
That's fair. At 3, obviously, I had Perfect Pinterest Garden.
Oh, man.
So your point from earlier, I think works to its benefit, right? So you say fantastic ideas, super punchy and fun. You just wish it was longer. But I'm like,
Yeah.
I love how short this song is, because then I can just loop it over and over again, and it
Yeah,
continues
I did that
punching.
when I first heard the album. I did that.
Yeah,
So yeah, I understand that.
When I first finished the album, right, I recorded my reaction. I went straight back to this song because I was like, this is so much fun to listen to. I love how short, sweet, to the point it is. It's not trying to
Yeah,
be something more. It just
yeah.
does what it's doing. It punches you hard, and then if you want to loop it again, you can. If you're not, you move on. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's really fun.
Okay. Yeah, I understand that. Like, I love songs like that. Like, one of my favorite songs in that case is like Northwest Zombie Girl.
Oh,
by
yeah,
Underscores
great.
in that
Yep.
case.
Yep.
But I also like understand, like, it's not the most I'm drawn to, and with an album that is as stacked as this album is, it's difficult.
I'm still mad at
All
you
right.
and Fantano. You guys snubbed this song. It's whatever.
Fantano, I love you. DM me, please.
At number
Brain fart.
2, I have Cheerleader.
It's not fair. 'Cause I know you like the back
I have Cheerleader.
No,
Yep.
no. You really have. Is there really no happiness?
Yeah, of
at
course
one?
I do.
Oh my God.
Of course I have. Is there really no
Okay.
happiness in one?
Okay. You know what? That's fair. I think the live version, if he made that intro like longer, this song would have gone up like 3 spots. I'm not kidding.
Really?
Like, the
Okay.
live version intro is so much more effective.
It is really awesome.
And at number 2, I've got Year of the Cup.
Oh, that's surprise. I thought you put that at number 1. So
No,
you have
no,
Cheerleader
I
at
have-
1.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I have Year of the Cup at number 2. So why don't you explain why you're wrong?
So Cheerleader, absolutely phenomenally catchy song. It
Yes.
along with the catchiness of this song, it is amazingly well written. It's right up there with Russian Roulette, which I think is more writing focused. So I find that incredibly impressive about Cheerleader. The bridge, I think, it's a drop in energy, and it's fantastic at building into that last chorus and that last drop.
Correct.
Absolutely amazing. I love the song. I had a blast listening to it when it was the first single. Just could loop it all day. Yeah, it was a very fun song.
Year of the Cup at 2. And I want to pull up some lyrics. I asked you if I never changed, would you love me? Expecting the negative, clever, turning the question around to me, it was obvious. I hate this version of me that was safe and sanitized thoroughly. You think you'll let people down and divine some perfect apology. Damn!
That is fire. That is fire.
That is the best, like, oh my god. And also the fact that it like completely stops, so it's basically just him and this perfectly weird distorted guitar. Like, it's so, oh my god. I can talk about that guitar for like 10 minutes. It sounds absolutely incredible. The writing, oh my god. This is his best written track in history. I think it is his best written track.
I respect the take. I do.
For each, like, if you take a look at like each part of the interview and then compare it to the verse after that, it is such a perfect like mesh and a perfect match together.
Yeah.
Those two in one moment. It is so genius. And at my number 1, I have Cheerleader.
Fully understand the placement.
I don't think you will have a more fun song ever created.
Okay.
This song is like designed to be the most fun. It's oddly a ballad, which is what's so crazy to me about it, that like a ballad can be like this hyperactive.
Yeah.
That main synth loop like exists in my brain and I will never be able to get it out. I swear on everything.
It's
like that
one of his catchiest melodies for sure.
Is so good.
Yeah.
Like that's like my favorite thing in music, with like happy production and sad lyrics, is such a perfect match in heaven. And this is one of the best forms of doing that, while being somehow a ballad, while being incredibly written, while being the most fun song like I've ever heard. So that's why I reasonably have Cheerleader at 1.
That's totally fair placement. I'm not. If you would have put Year of the Cup 1, I would have had some choice words, but Cheerleader, I can fully get behind Cheerleader number 1. No, full respect there.
You gotta explain yours.
Oh, is there really no happiness? I feel like
you never explain yours.
Sure. Okay. Copy exactly what you said about is there really no happiness, and then remove the lack of dynamic progression. And then that's my thoughts on it. It's perfect. It's such a good song. It's nostalgic. The lyrics fit right in with the rest of the album. I think it's punchy, short, sweet, to the point. And the peaks it reaches are fantastic. It reaches such high peaks while not ever dipping in energy. It remains super consistent the whole time. I think it hit me the hardest the first listen in terms of how much I related to it, right?
Fair.
One of your biggest things in music is sad lyrics over happy sound and progression. One of my biggest things is visual lyrics, like lyrics that you can fully
see
picture
and you can feel.
And this song, like, it smurfs on the rest of the album in terms of that. I think the picture it paints does that. The picture it paints is just terrific, and I can not only picture it, but I can apply it to myself and my life. And so I think the way the song does that lyrically is just absolutely phenomenal, especially that first verse. Every time it hits, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not ready for this song.
No. I totally understand that.
Yeah.
But for me, it's, a perfect burger, but you could also have like 2 perfect burgers over there. And why would you not take 2 over the 1? And I feel like the 2 is just the other songs on the album for me.
Let's end on a good note. Let's not fight each other about the burgers.
This is my favorite album.
There's no need to fight over the burgers.
It's my favorite album of all time.
Yeah.
It's my favorite album of all time. I totally get that take. Every song here, I give a 10 out of 10 score to, just on varying degrees of perfectness.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's our worst to best. Okay. I'm sure there's no way, because there's 2 completely different lists, that you're not going to agree with one of us. So make sure leave
Yeah, you're
below
gonna
leave
screw
below
guys.
who's more correct. Leave below your list. Leave below more albums you'd like to see a worst to best on. And yeah, please, Al,
Yeah.
shout out whatever you want.
Woo! Yeah,
Yeah, go for it.
YouTube, he'll put the link. Album of the year, he'll put the link. And then I have something coming out with this guy too. So, yay.
Go to his channel. You got to see the video. I'll post a community post as well if you miss it.
Oh, yeah. No,
But-
no, of course.
But yeah, if you want to see more content from me, or once we're done with the video with him, I'll also link that to the left or right of me. Feel free to click on that. But
He's pointing at it. He's pointing at it.
I'm pointing right now. Feel free to click on either one of those. Thank you all for the support. Love all of you guys. And yeah, peace.
Woo!